My name is Ramakrishian. I also go by the stage name Pariah Khan. I'm 31 and I work in theatre, film, stand-up, and I'm a professional wrestling manager. And alongside that is what I do in terms of community work too. Energetic, passionate, caring. That'll do. So I'm in a unique place where I have grown up in England as someone who's come from India, and then also grown up in India as someone who's come from England. So you see both countries, both nationalities, the areas of their culture which are very similar, and then also the areas which are completely different. And although I was only in Libya whilst I was very young, my parents lived there for quite a while beforehand, so there's always been an appreciation and understanding of different cultures, different religions, different people coming together in quite a positive way. So that's the strong part of that I take. But then there's also the differences you notice. Sometimes within British Indian people you don't necessarily fit in. Sometimes within Indian people and British people you don't necessarily fit in. You're on a bit of an island yourself culturally in terms of your own experiences. Then whilst I was going through college as well, those are lots more expenses when you're at sixth form. Luckily at the time I had the ESA to help me in terms of extra financial money for myself, which I then helped with myself and my mum at home. But without that, that could have been another massive economic barrier to being able to engage through education. So there's, for me, I would say probably one of the biggest things is around income and class. There's a part of it which is self-motivation and wanting to prove that I am able to do something when you're told by different people in different areas that perhaps you shouldn't, or you shouldn't aim so high. But that only comes with the support of different mentors and people who have helped champion you and support you along the way. So it's partly me, it's partly the people who helped me, like Babasa. So in 2017 there was a co-production between Bristol Vic and In Between Time Theatre, who put on an alternative theatre festival every year in Bristol. Now they were looking to find an assistant producer who could benefit from the experience of working on it. They approached Babasa and Babasa suggested me. Now that is one of the most useful experiences I've ever been on. Not only was it paid, but I got to see the inside of how a theatre production was put together, an international theatre production, how much scheduling is required to actually be involved in taking that on and supporting the directors with what they were trying to do. And unsurprisingly, that gave me so much more confidence to be able to do something myself further down the line. And 1 year later, I applied to the Arts Council for funding to support producing my own show. That was successful, and I can only imagine the skills I gained from Babasa putting me on that placement is what gave me the confidence to be able to assert that I can do that myself and take it onto my own show. I think it's really important to have people who believe in you and support you along the way. I imagine that applies for all of life, but in particular within the arts, when it's an area full of rejection that you sometimes keep wanting to prove things to other people or to fight that voice in your head that's always doubting yourself. And I feel the experience that Babasa gave me, the opportunities always just catching up with Poku now and then, running into each other at events, it always gave me that positive feeling of being looked after and being supported. And so it's one thing that I'd want to make sure I can do to anyone I can help going forward as well, to sort of pass that on or pay it forward.